So I wanted to talk about the fact that I've had a bad few days here, and I'm reframing those. They weren't bad days. They were challenges. They were opportunities. Because I don't approach things from the same self-pity mind state that I used to. Depression and anxiety. Now I still fall back into these states of self-pity and focusing on lack, the scarcity mind state. But I don't let it ruin my entire day. And even if I do, then I understand that this is temporary. And so the past few days has been huge ups and downs. And so instead of letting them control me, I decide, because I am the one who decides how I live my day, not always the outer circumstances, but the inner circumstances, to witness these things, to be meditative, and to see the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys as temporary, and that they will even out, and that there are a lot of methods that I can utilize to calm these things down, to become grounded. And no, they won't always work, and there is this attachment with the grasping mind, the in order to mind, this mind that searches for some sort of results. It's not always good, but again, it's not always bad. I let these moments, which I sometimes do perceive as failure, to be inspiration, to help climb out of the darkness, this pouting. Again, this self-pity and scarcity mind state. So it comes to counting your blessings, meaning looking at everything that's right in my life. I have so many loved ones that support me. I have the will to survive, the will to go on. And that this is practice, because I know it will get harder. And I also do go back in my mind and understand that I have overcome many terrible things, and that these have made me stronger, wiser. And like Daft Punk says, harder, better, faster, stronger. So these little mantras in the mind that we learn from many different places, they help me, they help you to overcome these dark times. And when we can believe that there's a different way, we can see these problems with a new type of energy. And this is a synergy, which means that we understand that these problems aren't here to just screw us over, to mess with us. These problems are here to help us grow. Just as the wind comes here to this beautiful tree in the yard, but also at the same time we're in the middle of the hot desert. And so every little bit of water is a blessing. And to be thankful for these little moments of calm, because I know that that anxiety and that depression will return. But it's up to me whether it stays for a few days, a few moments, a few years, or a lifetime. Because now that I've grasped control over my life, it slips away. Because you can't grasp and control your life. You can only measure and impart wisdom to your own mind to let it control your reaction. So let's think about that again. We have a measured, controlled reaction, not repression and not indulgence. This is the middle way between the dualities. Again, the middle way that the Buddha talked about. So we can see that there's always extremes, and here, especially in the modern day, the technological world that we live in, based on social media, especially in the United States, based on some very extreme viewpoints, there's always a middle way. And they call this the razor's edge. And your feet may get cut on the razor's edge, and that's okay. That pain lets you know that you're alive and present in the moment. and that you're not going to fall to either side, which I call indulgence or repression. This is why we become addicted to certain things, because we avoid certain energies with repression and we indulge certain energies with this addiction. And we have this fictional story in our mindscape that we're following and believing, and we don't realize how much power that we have to change that. And when we really step behind our eyes and pilot this mechanical biological monster we call a human being, we could pilot it like it's some sort of mecha, some sort of statue, a temple that we're given by the gods. So another thing that I do think about is gratitude. That so many years I cursed the skies, cursed myself, cursed the universe, creator, whatever word you choose. This is infinity, consciousness. I cursed it because I couldn't see what a blessing it was to be alive. And this isn't just something that snaps all of a sudden. This is something that we work towards, soften the edges. And no, I'm not there yet. It's an everyday process. But at the same time, it's not a process at all. It's something that we fold back and witness. So think about the energetic difference when you think of life as a process, which a lot of scientifically minded people would describe it as. Life as an experience. That this experience is here to help us grow. Grow into what? Are we growing more renown, more followers, more money? No. We're growing deeper into compassion through these actions. This compassion lets us see that there's more than just the singular self. That these relationships, even with yourself, with your environment, with your loved ones, with even rocks and trees, these relationships are what the experience brings us and are what the experience bring meaning to. So many people suffer because they don't find meaning in their relationships, and so many people feel alone even in a sea of social media, even with tons of friends going out drinking, partying. They're not truly connecting. They're together, alone together. And so with things like a lockdown, the separation, we find what true connection is. That you could be connected to someone across the world more intimately than your own family member. So the meaning behind this is we're always growing further into consciousness. And if we weren't growing further into consciousness, then we suffer. This brings us back to ourselves. Things like depression and anxiety. These are the two things that in a Western civilization we really struggle with. But another thing that we always have to come back to, especially here, is counting our blessings. We have so much. When we look at these other countries, just take a look at a few documentaries on YouTube on India or these other countries where there's lots of squalor and poverty. They don't have clean water. They don't even have a safe place to sleep. So think about how much we have, and externally there's so much abundance, but we can't appreciate it because internally we have so much scarcity. So again, what is the true definition of abundance, of success? It's real simple when it comes down to it. Your own contentment, which is your own true happiness, which is joy. And that's true strength and power. It's not external riches, it's internal riches. How thankful you can be. How good of a person you can be to yourself and others. This joy and gratitude to let this continue on in your own life until it grows and you become that joy and happiness. And it's not to press it upon others, but others will see that you can do it without some sort of bad habits like smoking or drinking, that it comes from within. It comes from the heart. And so when I'm having a tough time, I remind myself of these things, these blessings, that I really should be more content and happier than I am. And just by thinking about it, it doesn't make it true. It requires actions and a passionate disposition towards your life. Blessings. Hey yo, thanks for checking out the video. There are some more over here if you would like. If you did enjoy that, please subscribe, follow, hit the bell, do all that good stuff. Thank you.